Big Liverpool update. Robertson's future in doubt, Salah showing frustration, and Arne Slot under serious pressure. If you're a true Red, you don't want to miss this. Subscribe now to Anfield Wire for daily Liverpool news, transfers, and breaking updates for Andy Robertson landing spots as Champions League clubs want Liverpool man, Liverpool defender. Andy Robertson will leave Anfield on a free transfer at the end of the season. With Tottenham, Atletico Madrid, Juventus and Napoli all reportedly interested in signing him, Liverpool left-back Andy Robertson is understood to have 4 potential destinations following confirmation of his Anfield exit at the season's end. It's believed Champions League trio Atletico Madrid, Juventus and Napoli, as well as relegation-threatened Tottenham, are all pursuing the Scotland captain, who will depart the Reds without a transfer fee when his contract expires. Robertson has been at Anfield for 9 years, during which time he's collected 2 Premier League titles, a Champions League trophy, 2 League Cups and an FA Cup, alongside the FIFA Club World Cup, UEFA Super Cup and Community Shield. But his opportunities have diminished since Milos Kerkez's arrival, prompting speculation about a potential January departure. With only 15 starts to his name this campaign, Robertson is seeking consistent first-team football, and the Times reports the 4 aforementioned clubs are vying for his services. The Scotland international is believed to be reluctant about returning north of the border at present, becoming another high-profile departure alongside Mohamed Salah this summer. It is never easy leaving a club like Liverpool, Robertson said. It has been a huge part of mine and my family's life for the last 9 years, but I know football moves on. I know teams move on, and now is the time for me to move on. I will always look back on amazing memories at this football club. I have put my heart and soul into the club, and when I got my chance, I just wanted to make the people within this club and the supporters proud of the left back they are seeing performing week in, week out. I know my journey is coming to an end. It has been an incredible journey, but I won't let up. This club means everything to me. The fans mean everything to me. The people connected with the club mean everything to me. And I think I owe to them that until my very last day, I will give everything to the football club, which I have done for the last 9 years. The 9 years, I will look back with a big smile on my face. And yeah, it's been a hell of a journey. Robertson has cemented his place among the club's modern-day legends, having arrived for a fee of £8.50 million, $11.40 million from Hull. He is widely regarded as one of the shrewdest pieces of business in the contemporary game. The left-back said, "I think it has been well documented, especially over the last year or so. I've had opportunities to leave and I've not taken them because of how difficult it is to leave this club, and I wouldn't change that for the world. But I know football moves on, I know teams move on, and I think now is the time for me to move on and go wherever my next move is and wherever my career takes me. I'll always look back on amazing memories at this football club. I've put my heart and soul into the club for 9 years and I've not got many regrets. I've grown as a man and as a person. This club will always mean the world to me. The fans will mean the world to me. It has been a hell of a journey." Andy Robertson told to snub Celtic transfer and complete barely believable move. Andy Robertson is set to leave Liverpool this summer after 9 years at Anfield, and Rangers legend Ali McCoist has suggested Wrexham as a potential destination for the Scotland captain. Scotland skipper Andy Robertson has been advised that a barely believable transfer to Championship team Wrexham makes sense by Ali McCoist. As the left-back prepares to leave Liverpool, the 32-year-old has been linked with Celtic this summer, having previously admitted he's mulled over a move to the East End of Glasgow following his confirmation on Thursday that he'll be departing Anfield. Liverpool's vice-captain concludes a 9-year spell at the club, during which he's claimed every significant trophy on offer, including 2 Premier League crowns and the Champions League. But he slipped down the left-back hierarchy behind summer acquisition Milos Kerkez this season, and a January transfer to Tottenham collapsed. Rangers legend McCoist believes the defender would be well suited to financially backed Wrexham should the Welsh club achieve promotion from the Championship to the Premier League this campaign. Speaking to TalkSport Bet Casino, McCoist said, "Listen, he's one of my favourite players, Andy Robertson. What a pro, what a player. That's, in my opinion, one of the mysteries surrounding Liverpool this year, how he's not had more game time. I know Milos Kerkez was a new signing. I get all that. But any time I see Andy Robertson, he's the same old Andy. He's down that left flank, totally committed, bundles of quality, There was talk of him going to Spurs a few days before the January window closed, and I got asked my opinion on it. I said I cannot believe he's not getting more game time with Liverpool. I still can't believe he's not getting more game time with Liverpool. So it would make sense if I was a newly promoted side like Wrexham. What a signing that would be. A leader, played at the top level, at the very, very highest level. Yeah, it would make sense. A move to Wrexham would be sensational, considering the Welsh club was playing non-league soccer just 3 years ago. Arne Slot has revealed the discussions held privately with Robertson and the real reasons behind his decision to depart Merseyside. Ahead of the Fulham fixture, the Dutch tactician remarked, "He had many great seasons over here as a player, but I think people got to know him as a great person as well. I got to know him. Every teammate will tell you how funny he is and how great a person he is, and that has been shown a lot on social media as well. What I remember most about him is the intensity he is always playing with. We have learned something about intensity 2 days ago, but I can make Robbo making a press from left full-back to right-back a few years ago, and I showed that to the players I was working with then. He has won everything here, really loves this club. It has been a great 9 years at the club. But we saw this season he didn't play as much as he used to. And as a result of that, he is leaving. It is difficult to be in that position longer than a season. Every player wants as much regular first-team football as possible. Liverpool news as Mohamed Salah frustration clear and Arne Slot under pressure. Steven Gerrard praised Mohamed Salah's professionalism after Liverpool star was left unused during the 2-0 Champions League quarter-final defeat to Paris Saint-Germain. Liverpool is nursing its wounds following a commanding display by Paris Saint-Germain in Wednesday's Champions League quarter-final clash. The Reds suffered a comprehensive 2-0 defeat at the Parc des Princes in the first leg tie. Strikes from Desire Doué and Kavicha Kvaratskhelia handed the rampant PSG a well-earned victory as Arne Slot's outfit delivered another lacklustre showing. The reaction has been scathing, with the Reds' blunt display widely condemned. Another talking point from the game was club legend Mohamed Salah remaining an unused substitute throughout the match. The latest developments see the Egyptian forward's professionalism highlighted, while a Liverpool player has placed responsibility for the squad's current struggles firmly at Slot's door. Gerrard Lord Salah. Steven Gerrard has commended Salah's professionalism, acknowledging the Liverpool forward will have been deeply disappointed, having watched from the sidelines in Paris. On a day when Liverpool failed to register a solitary effort on target, the club's third highest goal scorer of all time was noticeably absent from proceedings on the pitch. The 33-year-old recently confirmed his departure at the season's conclusion and criticised his manager in December, having grown frustrated with being omitted from the starting 11. Former midfielder Gerrard suggested that Salah's intensive cool-down following the PSG match demonstrated his focus on the upcoming Premier League fixture against Fulham, underscoring his exemplary professionalism. When quizzed on TNT Sports about how he would feel in a similar position, the former Red skipper responded, "Frustrated because I think he'll be sitting there thinking, I back myself to influence this game and improve proceedings, certainly from a going forward point of view. So I think he'll be a little bit sad and frustrated, but credit to him, he's just stayed behind there and done extra running, because if there wasn't a midweek game, Wednesday would probably be your big session. So in his mind, he's already got his mind on Fulham and he's doing extra work, which shows the pro and the mentality that you're dealing with." Konate issues Slot plea. Ibrahima Konate's post-match remarks appeared to subtly shift responsibility onto Slot to address the persistent problem of the side's alarming dip in form throughout the season. The French international conceded the encounter against PSG was tough, with the defender finding it difficult to settle into an unfamiliar back three. Reflecting on the defeat in Paris, Konate said, "What do I think of the result tonight? For sure, I'm not happy. I know we have another game at Anfield. It's our home. Anything can happen there, and we have to make sure we are ready for the game on Saturday. After, we're going to think more about that game against PSG. I think PSG, like last season, are one of the best teams in the world. They show it again today. It was tough for us to find a solution, to find the target, but this is the work of the manager now to see what we can improve, what we can change for the game at home, and we will see." The second leg between Liverpool and PSG is scheduled for Tuesday, with the Reds requiring a classic Anfield fight back if they harbour any ambitions of progressing to the semi-finals. Arne Slot utters Alexander Isak hope with Liverpool set for massive boost. Liverpool striker Alexander Isak should feature off the bench again this weekend as Arne Slot's side take on Fulham. with the Dutchman outlining his plan for the Swede. Alexander Isak should be back at full tilt for Liverpool more quickly than when he missed pre-season and struggled to get up to speed at Anfield. That is the belief of Arne Slot, who needs a boost from his $169 million, £125 million striker in the final few matches of the season. Liverpool is in need of a few wins to secure Champions League soccer ahead of next year. That Alex is available for us again is vital, of course. Slot said in his pre-match press conference ahead of hosting Fulham on Saturday, "I said many times it was hard for us to convert chances into goals. He has been a goal scorer for his whole life. He did not get a chance against Paris, but in all the other games we had chances. To have him back is really nice. It was only 15 minutes, but it is good to have him back, and hopefully we can progress his minutes. Hopefully he can grow to his form as soon as possible, but the last time it took a while. That is normal, but now we are hoping that after the rehab period we can bring him faster to the level we want him to be at." Elsewhere, Alisson Becker is working hard behind the scenes to come back as soon as possible. He, though, will not be involved against Fulham. Slot had previously ruled the Brazilian out of playing in the second leg against PSG too, with no exact timeline being placed on when Alisson can come back in for Georgi Mamardashvili. Giovanni Leone, Wataru Endo and Conor Bradley remain out through long-term injuries. But while there are no fresh concerns for Liverpool ahead of a huge game this weekend in the race for the top 5 spots, several players will need their minutes managed. "Yesterday was a recovery day," Slot said. "Let's see where a few of our players are. I am not telling you for the first time, not all of our players are capable of playing 3 days later, another intense game." So let's see what the lineup brings this time. Jeremy Frimpong, who started as a wing-back in Paris, is likely in that category. Slot said last week that he struggled to play against Brighton before the international break a few days after starting against Galatasaray in Europe. Every word Arne Slot said on FSG stance, Alexander Isak and Liverpool injuries. Every word Liverpool head coach Arne Slot said on having support from FSG, his plan for Alexander Isak, and the latest on injuries ahead of facing Fulham this weekend. Liverpool has lost each of its last 3 games in all competitions. But Arne Slot is still hopeful that his side can turn around its Champions League tie with PSG with a focus on Fulham first. The Reds boss spoke to reporters at the AXA training centre on Friday and confirmed there are no new injury concerns for his side, though the minutes of some key men will need to be managed. Jeremy Frimpong, for instance, has struggled with short turnarounds in the past. This is every word he had to say. Reaction to Andy Robertson departure. First of all, he had many great seasons over here as a player, but I think people got to con him as a great person as well. I got to know him, and every teammate of his will tell you how funny he is and how great a person he is. That has been shown a lot on social media as well, but what I remember most about him is the intensity he is always playing with. We have learned something about intensity 2 days ago, but I can also remember Robbo making a press from left fullback to the right wing a few years ago. I showed that to the players I was working with back then. He has won everything here and he has served this club for so many years. He really loves this club and it has been a great 9 years at the club. But we saw also this season he didn't play as much as he used to. It was still a lot, but not as much as he was used to. And as a result of that, he is leaving. Not only that, it is difficult to be in that position longer than a season. Every player wants as much regular first-team football as possible. Still has support from FSG and fans. I'm repeating myself, and I have said it many times, that I feel a lot of support, not only from the owners, but also from Richard and Michael Edwards as well. As weird as it might sound, I also feel the support of the fans. When we were going out in Paris, when the players were going out for the warm-up, even though we'd just lost 4-0 at City, the fans who saw us started singing, "We love you, Liverpool." Even after, I think it is fair to say, we were outplayed over 90 minutes, we went to the away end and they were still singing for us and clapping for us. That support we have felt constantly. I have said this many times as well. The club knows the period of time we are in, and in the meantime, I feel complete support. Another big week that could define the season. That's completely normal in the end of the season, Slot said. Not only for us, it is for all the teams. These are defining periods of time. We haven't given ourselves the best situation to be in, but as you said, Paris kept us alive, so we are still in that tie. There are 2 massive games in the league coming up as well, and after we have 4 more and hopefully a few more in the Champions League as well. But first, the focus should be on Fulham. That is where the focus is on now. Fulham has caused problems in the past. They have a manager who has worked a long time with them, and you can see a clear structure and clear identity. They want to play mainly with the same players. When I've been here, we played them last season at home when we got a red card, and was probably one of the best games we played that season. Twice we were a goal down. This season, that game maybe sums up our season. It's unbelievable that we didn't win that one. When you look at how late we scored, how often do you score in the 94th minute to go ahead and then not win? Alexander Isak status and injury latest. We don't get the player back yet, but Alisson is working hard to get his way back. He won't be in this weekend. That Alex is available for us again is vital, of course. I said many times it was hard for us to convert chances into goals. He has been a goal scorer for his whole life. He did not get a chance against Paris, but in all the other games we had chances. To have him back is really nice. It was only 15 minutes, but it is good to have him back, and hopefully we can progress his minutes. Hopefully he can grow to his form as soon as possible, but the last time it took a while. That is normal, but now we are hoping that after the rehab period we can bring him faster to the level we want him to be at. Fans and ticket price protest, not only when we go through tough times. I think Anfield has shown in its history, but also since I'm here, how important these fans are for us when we play a home game. A recent example, of course, was Galatasaray, where we had a tough game away from home, where their fans were really loud, but then Anfield showed what being loud really is. They helped us through that game, and I can come up with so many examples where I've been part of it, but also in the history of this club. That is what makes Anfield special, but I think in general, playing in front of your home fans is for every team very helpful. We've always felt that support. I've always felt that support when we are playing in good and in bad times. I hope, even though there are protests, that the fans can be as helpful as they've always been for us this season and last season. FSG's stance on firing Arne Slot as Liverpool boss makes weird admission. Despite facing increasing pressure over his position, Arne Slot insists he still feels the support from Liverpool's owners and fans. With FSG's stance on the head coach having emerged, Arne Slot looks set to remain in charge of Liverpool heading into next season, with the Reds boss retaining the support of the club's owners. Slot is coming under increasing pressure amid Liverpool's ongoing poor form, having been beaten by both Manchester City and Paris Saint-Germain since returning from the international break. The Reds have won just one of their last 6 games in all competitions and face a fight to qualify for next season's Champions League. Fans have looked to have been losing patience in recent games as well. Supporters booed after the draw at home to crisis-ridden Tottenham last month, while Xabi Alonso's name was sung as fans left the FA Cup defeat to City early last weekend. Despite the growing speculation around Slot's future, Liverpool's owners remain behind the Dutchman. According to The Telegraph, Fenway Sports Group FSG believes that Slot will lead the club next season. Suggestions that Slot could be dismissed in the summer or even before the end of the current season are said to be at odds with the mood from FSG, as well as sporting director Richard Hughes and FSG's CEO of football Michael Edwards. It's claimed that FSG believes there are mitigating factors for Liverpool's drop in performance this season, not least the death of Diogo Jota last summer and the effect that had on his teammates. The fall-off in performance from senior stars such as Mohamed Salah, who will leave the club in the summer, is also cited, and while Slot is acknowledged to have made mistakes, there is a feeling from Liverpool's owners that he should get more time before a judgment is made. Slot himself addressed questions over his future as he spoke to the media on Friday ahead of facing Fulham, with the Liverpool boss insisting that he not only feels the support from his employers, but also the club supporters. I'm repeating myself a lot, but I've said it many times before. I feel a lot of support, but not only from the owners and Richard and Michael, but I feel a lot of support from them as well. Slot said, but as weird as it might sound, I feel the support of the fans. We were going out in Paris when the players were going out for the warm-up, and the fans, after a 4-0 loss, immediately started singing, "We love you, Liverpool." And after, I think it's fair to say, outplayed over 90 minutes, we went to the away end and they were still singing for us and clapping for us. That support I felt constantly, I think, and I've said this many times as well, the club knows in which period of time we are in, and in the meantime, I feel complete support.